All Progressives Congress governorship candidate, Prince Nicholas Ukachukwu. Tonight we'll be discussing his vision for Anambra State, his plans for development, and the issues that matter most to residents as election approaches. Thank you so much for joining us this evening, Prince.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Jumoke.
Right, so let's start this conversation on a very soft pedal. You're an evangelist, Dr. Prince, governorship candidate. I mean, you carry three strong identities, evangelist, Prince, and doctor, which, you know, each come with their own authority. How do you balance them without one overshadowing the other? Evangelist means you're a man of deep faith. How does a Christian calling influence your decision to enter partisan politics, you know, which is often seen as a dirty game?
Well, thank you, Jumoke. You see, in each of those things, I think it's about service. Service. My doctorate degree was not the one you get from reading in classrooms or through faculties. That one is given because of your benevolence, the things you have done, your empathy, the things you have done to affect lives. And when the university recognizes that, they say, oh, because of this, we are conferring a youth doctorate degree on so discipline. That's exactly how the one comes. Then they call to be an evangelist. I wasn't planning for it. I wasn't praying for it. But one day God said to me, it's time for you to come in to serve me. I have a plan and purpose for you, and I have something you have to do for me. For the reason I created you, and it has come the time for you to come in. And when that came, I was kind of trying to rebuff it, Jumoke, and then all of a sudden, one day he said to me, your time to accept this is numbered. Your grace period is expiring. Is it that now or never? And then I escaped accident by 30 minutes. I realized that it's not a matter of a choice. And then I answered the calling. And then that's where evangelists comes in. So it's not just like a title, it's a call. So being an evangelist and being a doctor and being praised all comes together from service, who you are and what you are created and born to do. So, and each of them, God has been faithful. His grace has been sufficient. He has been helping me. And then for things to work, having been there and seeing what you have done by your own personal effort and then blessings God has endowed upon you, you see that you have been able to take this from zero to this, and it works. You begin to wonder, why is government actually, state government are not doing much to complement federal government? I have grown from nursery school to secondary school, British Nigerian Academy, to university, European University of Nigeria. So, and I've seen things grow to that point. And I've never commissioned it one day or come to the press and say, this is what it is. But you see a government will do just a boys' quarter or one-room hospital, and they'll go and pay so much. Well, I want to thank you also. I'm not trying to destroy business for you people, the media. They have to pay to bring it to media, even sponsor after. It's so nauseating, it doesn't make sense. So because of that, we have to come into politics as Christians, as people that have a heart for the people, and people who happen to recognize one thing or the other. 20-something years ago, I had most of the roads in my community, asphalt road, double-side concrete, dread, but with my money. So I've seen things happen. I provided water. I have built 13 industries, employing over 1,040 people. I used to be the highest employer of labor in Anambra State, outside Anambra State government, until the security time comes. So it comes from service. We now realize, okay, fine. You've been supporting people to be. Now you have this heartbeat for your people. And then you cannot do much with what God has given you. With government, you can do better. Go into politics, and then this time and contest yourself and try to be governor. That's actually what brought me in. It's the zeal, the passion, the drive to serve my people and put things in order so that anybody coming after me would have seen the growth pattern and know that it's possible to turn Anambra State around, to be a state to actually emulate. So
pardon my curiosity, Mr. Ukachukwu, just quickly before we move on to the issues. I asked that question because the last time you were here, you said you're tired of being a godfather, and now you want to be the father of the father. No more godfatherism. You said no one has become a governor in Anambra State without your support. Quickly, do evangelists have time for godfatherism?
Oh, maybe I will kind of put it in a proper perspective. When I say that I don't want to be a godfather to anybody else, meaning I don't want to be supporting people to win. And like I said, Jumoke, nobody has come to the screen to say what I said was not the truth. Many people have been governors. None have come to say that what I say was not the truth, because that was the truth. What I said is the truth. And then now, I have been supporting you to win. And some of them performed credibly, some did not. And I realized that things are very bad. And I decided, you know what? Let me now come and play the final role. With every support that's given you to win, let me give it to myself. And then people realize actually that I've come to show a leadership actually they can trust based on the trajectory of what I've done. On that note, I'm getting the followers I'm getting now. So that's actually what I'm trying to say. I don't want to support you to win anymore. I want to support myself to win so that I can do the things I'm telling them to do after winning they are not doing. That's basically what it is.
All right. So let's go back to some of the things you've said before tonight's conversation. And this is because when governorship candidates say, we shall no longer dwell on empty promises, our work will speak for us. You know, I personally find this exaggerated because, you know, when it comes to Anambra governorship election and its candidates, I have spoken with more pretenders. I mean, it looks like I've spoken with more pretenders than contenders. I've spoken with governorship candidates who do not know the percentage of out-of-school children in a state they want to govern, candidates who do not know what to do to fix the challenges they have raised as concerns. But, you know, they passionately say the incumbent has not performed. So let's start with your promise to convert Omasi vast natural gas deposits into a resource that benefits all Anambra citizens. That plant is designed to handle up to 5 million standard cubic feet per day of natural gas. However, as we speak, it is currently operating at less than 10% of its capacity. What is responsible for that?
You see, because you see, the gas where it is kind of landlocked. So the investment to evacuate the finished gas to a point of export or where you can get buyers that can buy or supply the buyers when they've bought from you is the reason why many wells have not been dug. Now, but the one that already done, the 10% that already done, is enough to provide power that can power not only Anambra State, but all the states, the various states. So what will start from known to unknown. And the known now is that there's gas and it's being sold to Nigerians and it's being transported daily. And that gas is enough for us to give it a value, just adding value addition to that gas we have. And part of the things it can solve for us are enormous. First of all, it will give us the power plants we're looking for. And don't forget, Jumoke, it is at the same point we're going to site that power plant. And that power plant is just 15 kilometers to Onitsha, 18 kilometers to Oka, and then about 19.2 kilometers to Newi. So when you look at this, anywhere in these environs, so it becomes a strategic point to put it there. And from there to actually where you have substation in Awada in Onitsha, it's less than 16 kilometers. So what happens is that investment becomes tidy and cheaper. When I got some people who are experts like GE and Co. and other people who are there, don't forget, I am one of the major electrical contractors in Nigeria. So it's something I know so well. So when you look at those things, the immediate value it can add to our economy is putting a power plant there and building an industrial park. Because world over, why Europe and America goes to China is they're looking for cheap labor, they're looking for energy, and then they're looking for gas and electricity. So if you have those things, factories will come by themselves because the major factories in the world, they are the major need they are using for. Nigeria have cheap labor, and there's gas. You are not paying transportation costs and then transmission costs, tax and other things you need to do as it travels. Now it's there. You are taking it from ground to the power plant, and from there, they're taking it to your factory directly. So those incidental charges, costs, and prices have been cut off. And then it becomes it will be one of the cheapest gas for the manufacturers. And then you have electricity generated, so you're only coming with equipment, we'll give you lights, and then you have it. And then it will now be able to double our IGP, and it make our people to have a job, and it'll be able to provide much needed revenue for the state government. But my desire in putting it is purely business. That's why many Anambrans are supporting me today know that Anambra, look at what's happening in Nigeria. The president is running Nigeria like a business. He's a guru in that, and that's how it is working. People are shouting before, but look at dollar going down now. It's about when you know what you know. People might not see it, but because people are giving that trust and he's doing it well, and you can see the treasury how it is working. And then he took the bull by the horn, and you can see the result. So on this note, when I finish that power plant, I'm going to use it to increase economic potential, economic purpose of my people. When I finish building it, our need but at peak is 100 and something megawatts. Now we're trying to put on 250 megawatts. And you know what, you don't put money down for this kind of project. You do 5 or 10%, and then GE will give you the plant. You pay over years as agreed. And from the numbers we've run, it will give us 5 to 7 year repayments from the electricity generated. So meaning at 5 years, you exit your investment, whatever you put in there. So that means that when I'm done with that plant, in order for to make it run, and then it not be tomorrow one government or governor will come in and feel like this is a place to settle his own community. He now deep-handed and then go down. No, I'm going to sell it in coupons, develop government coupons or bonds, as we call it, and then like tradable coupons, instruments you can transfer instruments, money backed. That if the cost of 1 kVA is $1,000, I'll divide it in kVAs. So if you are using 1 kV, 2 kV in your house as a poor man, as a small business, those small enterprises, I will sell that 2 kV to you. You own it. It's cheaper than buying generator, and at the same time, it belongs to you. After paying bill, every quarter, whatever you pay as a bill, after they share the CAPEX, the OPEX, that's the CAPEX expenditure, the operation cost, and other things, incidental charges, transmission, distribution, other state costs. Whatever that is left is your own money. It returns back to you as your own investment because you own what you owe. I want to practice it and put it first. When it works, others still can emulate from it. Because I have done things it has worked. So this is what coming to Anambra State. Right. So the poor masses will buy first. After that, we'll say to the rich. So that's what coming to do, and it will work. And then the industrial park will bring value. All
right. So clearly you've visualized how this project fits into the broader economic agenda for the state. But has any technical or geological feasibility study been conducted to confirm the commercial viability of that gas deposit? What are your findings?
My timing, 2 years.
Okay.
2 years.
I was asking for your findings, not timing.
It's 2 years.
Mr. Ukachukwu, can you hear me?
My time is 2 years.
I wanted to know if there has been...
I can hear you now.
Yeah, I wanted to know if there's been any technical or geological feasibility study that has been conducted to confirm the commercial viability of that gas deposit. What are your findings?
Yeah, I've been having a series of meetings about it. I've met some experts. I've met also the major power plant companies. I've had several meetings. I've also engaged a feasibility study company, international reputed company, that is studying it now. That will give us a final paper in the next 2 weeks. Because apart from trying to do it as a government, it's something one can do as a business also. So we're looking at it from that point. So we're doing the studies, and what I'm talking to you now is part of the study we've done. Also, we're doing financial projections and cash flow projections that will make us know that we can analyze investments in so time. So already we're working on it, and very soon we'll have a document that one can say, this is bankable, and then we'll put it forward to the public. Why we're doing this, and we don't want to wait until when we get to government, we'll start out to experiment what we want to do. We want to get in there and then get ground running. Like the Anambra State, as you know, is a manufacturing and trading state. For that economy to grow and the GDP people to grow, that people's GDP, for it to grow, the first thing you should do is to find out the enablers, the things that can make business work, that the things that improve manufacturing and trading. And first and foremost is security. After security is power and energy. After power and energy, you now things that make life beautiful. The road, the water, the hospitals, and all those things now will come in. So when you have a secure environment, I have energy, you have those social services, and you provide road that can link people together, then our economic potential will grow, our GDP will grow, things will begin to work. And then you improve on the things that will make people to stay. I want to tell you now, today, our children go to school abroad in Nigeria, pass out from schools, pay so much by their parents, but there's no job they can do in Anambra State today.
All right, we'll get to that in a minute. So I don't forget this very important question, because Ayamelum people are listening to you, and I'm sure they're bothered about how they would benefit from this project. And I'm sure you know that this is a marginalized community. How would they benefit from this?
You see, first of all, the benefit is enormous because one, the community where this gas is sitting, they have a factory. All this factory, I'm going to build this. I'm not taking this industrial park out of that community. I'm going to build industrial park, and as God should have it, they have wonderful terrain, wonderful land, great vast land. That's where I'm going to build this power plant. And don't forget the agrarian area. So meaning those that we're adding value to the agro chain will have a factory there also. So the community will have all their major non-skilled workers being employed, and their skilled workers being employed. You know, normally they give a quota of local place that the factory is, and then that will help them to employ most of those people there. And then it will increase their economic potential. And those who are into agro farming and other small business, those factories will not give them business. So it will be a multiplier effect. It will go in chain from one to another. By the time you know it, it will increase those who are within the blanket to say they are benefiting from the same thing. So from that gas to gas plant to industrial parks, and then other things that cluster around it will work. And then people will come, and then it become an address. And other people will now come and buy properties there now. Their land will appreciate. People will come and build houses for rent. Other things will come. And then before you know, there'll be schools, there'll be other things, and then they will become very attractive place for their community will become attractive place for other investors.
So what about safety concerns?
International and local.
What about safety concerns, Mr. Ukachukwu? Because you know, gas exploration and production often raise environmental concerns. What are the safeguards? What safeguards would you implement to prevent? I mean, you look at pollution of farmlands, water, and local ecosystems.
Oh, you see, as the compressed natural gas are very friendly to the environment. It doesn't. The emission is 0.0 point something. It's not much. It's natural gas that burn like LPG. It's like LPG, a better version of LPG you use to cook in the house, which has no hazardous issue. So it's compressed natural gas. It's a natural gas. It's not diesel. It's not fuel. So the emission is almost not insignificant. It's like LPG you are using in your house. So it doesn't bring out much emission. So it doesn't harm the environment. Don't forget also, the carbon dioxide, little one that comes will also help their greeneries, because their greens and what they are cultivating needs also to breed. So it's going to be a multiplier effect all around benefit. So it's not going to be hazardous to themselves. And also, it's not going to, the industrial park is not going to be within a living area, to say. They're also giving a demarcation. It's not from what I've gone to pay a visit in that place, and I've gone, you know, to look at what's going on there. And then they realize that the villagers are very optimistic. And that's why I'm telling you categorically clear that local government, they call it IAMLM, I had 2 rallies because I couldn't do it in one place because of the kind of crowd we're expecting. Local government rally, campaign tour, rally of that place. We did local rally in that place just a few days ago. We have to do it in 2 places, Anako for 3 wards, and then Omo for the remaining 8 wards. One of those rally we did, in one of them, is bigger than all our opponent rallies they've done, including the current sitting government that's there now. Their rally was not up to one of them because the community see me that this is one God is bringing to come and alleviate their problems. And they know that my man very strong, my word. If I say I will do it, I'm going to do it. And all of them came, not minding the trade. But I'll come to that later when we get to that point. But still, they're trying to have numbers.
So let's talk about other issues.
So it's going to benefit them.
You must have also heard of the increasing rate of baby factories in Anambra State, and there are fresh incidents of violence and encroachment on farmlands. First, what is your assessment of the rising cases of baby factories and illegal adoption rings in Anambra State? Oh,
honestly, let me tell you this. I say things in national television, and some can say it's not true. Nobody have more number of factories in Anambra State than myself and my family. And on that note, I'm telling you right now, I can't remember in recent times once telling you there are many industries spranging up in Anambra State. No, insecurity has killed more of factories. You know, as a matter of fact, my factory is under lock key because they kidnapped my 6 expatriates. And then the rest, I used to have 70-some of them, 70-something of this people working for me. The place is under lock and key. The aluminum cementing company was supposed to, bring to stream for the past few years. I have not. We lock it down because we cannot be able to run it. The Radisson Hotel there in Anambra State belongs to us also.
All right.
So what we're trying to say is that we love Anambra State, we're investing there. But what nobody can tell you that people are taking over because the factories are struggling.
All right, let me put you on hold while we go for this break. And when we return, we'll continue this conversation on our other platform. And it's also important to say the QR code will be reviewed in a moment. Please stay with us, everyone. Thank you for staying with us, everyone. Nicholas Ukachukwu, APC governorship candidate, Anambra State, is my guest tonight as we discuss the issues that matter most to residents as the election approaches. Thank you so much for staying with us on the program, Mr. Ukachukwu. So let's continue from where we stopped.
Thank you very much.
I mean, it's a very important conversation because, you know, many of these cases stem from poverty, unemployment, and gender-based violence. I'm wondering, how does your manifesto address these root causes?
You see, apart from what I'm saying, the summary was quite on point. Why? Part of some of the insecurity issue we're having is because the youth have no job, and many even graduates who have graduated have no job. Those who could not have the liberty of going traveling abroad or going. Also have done some certain investigations on certain things. We have spoken to some certain people. Maybe also it should interest you also, my audience, to hear that I'm not holding brief for any security division of the Anambra State. But as I can speak authoritatively that the current governor has not given police or army or DSS or whatever up to 5-10 vehicles since 3 years and 6 months or more. How do you want them to fight crime? It's only when they set up this Quack, Udokachi, and Agone Chamber, they bought some second-hand branded vehicle. When other states are buying new vehicles and nothing actually to show for it. Don't forget, in the past few months, Anambra State is getting 1.8 billion or thereabouts from derivation as being part of a produced country, a produced state. But go to those communities that are doing it. They have not put one trip of sand, talk less of doing one thing there. They have done nothing. Completely nothing. Nothing to show for it in that local government. No single project have they done. What they did recently is to go and paint the hospital that was built by former governor, and then brought some people and said they did the operation, and then 4 people operated on, and they have 200 patients. And this is a governor, say, lying on national TV, and then there are 200 patients that they're in the hospital, that by tomorrow it will be more, even when the whole community were sick. And then people now, in this era of investigative journalism, journalists now went there to go and see those patients that were operated the next day. Only goat and cows were, only goat and cock were everywhere. There's no single staff, there's no nurse, no doctor, nobody. The place was just empty. And they were made it public. It's not like people are seeing it there. So this is the only thing they did. And the people said, we don't want you anymore. So I've come to a point to say to them, there are things we are coming with that will bring people out of poverty to make them have economic potentials, like what I said about power and selling it back to them. Also, agri-chain. You see, the way and manner we do agriculture in Nigeria, the president have now created some certain other things, including agri-funding companies and insurance, whatever, that will help agriculture move on. Because I went to Zambia, I went to Tanzania to do studies in the why things have changed. Because some of those South African farmers move back to those countries. And I realized the agri-chain works. And when they call it a chain, it's like a chain that is in a circle. Meaning there's somebody that will take the sample of your land and go and test in a lab and say to you, you can plant corn here or plant here and here or plant maize here. That this is what can grow here. Once after testing it, they stamp it. The insurance company will assure you that anything you cultivate here, plus or minus 10%, you are going to get it. So that's now give the immune kind of boosting for the farmer that is doing it. When the insurance stamp it, then now you see factories, the other companies, just like those farm implementers, those that will come and prepare the ridge or clear the site and then put irrigation, whatever you need to farm, they will come because they know that they are going to get back their money because there's a study that's proven. And when that is done, then somebody will now come and say, I have improved seed, I will give you. I see how the chain is going. I'll give you an improved seed. and then you can cultivate this seed, and it will give you that harvest you are looking for. Because the person that tested would have given recommendation. I haven't said that. Now, a company now, the funding company will not come and say, I'll give you money now to get people to plant it and weed it up to the point of nursing it to up to the point of harvest. And a harvesting company will say, I'll harvest it for you, and I'll take 1 bag or 2 bags after harvesting. That's the cost I'll take. The one that prepared the ground say, I'll take 5 or 10 bags for preparing the ground for you. The one that gives you seed will say, I'll take 1 bag for preparing. It might be equivalent in money. And then when all these are together, the off-taker that will buy those your product will come and say to you, how many percentage of this your product do you want to sell? He can say, I want to sell 50%. He said, okay, fine. I give you 10% to hold in lieu of what I'm going to take from you. And then when it's ready, I'll be the off-taker. And then when that off-taker comes, you can see that the farmer now is a beautiful bride. He's no more stagnated or just a mere farmer. He's now doing farm business. He's now into agro business. So his swag, his boldness, his confidence has improved. That anybody, both a medical doctor, non-medical doctors, graduate, or will find a business. Because when you have done this, before even you take a step to go and start that issue with the farming, to go into that farming, you realize that you have known that at the end of the planting season, I'm going to get 5 million. I'm going to get 10 million. I'm going to go. So when you consider working for somebody and they pay you 200,000 in a month, you go and take that and know you're going to get 5 million. So if you do 1 hectare and get 5 million this time, next time you do 5 hectares and get to 5 million, you can see the trajectory of your growth. And it will encourage other people because they see that growth is coming and because they share. And then a value-added company will now come and say, oh, I'm doing starch. And I know that in so local government in Anambra State, I can get 200, 1,000, 3,000, 5,000 tons of cassava to produce starch.
All right.
Let me go and put my factory there. So when the off-taker brings it out, he gives me. So we'll cut off the cost of going to market, those prices increases and all those speculations. They cut off the cost of transportation and other things because they are taking it from source. What will now be going to the market now is just the finished product. So this becomes a shame. So you can now see in that place it will vast land that's prepared. And then we're going to provide forest guards, train our people, give the security agents to train them. And then I'm there to go and become government train agents.
Just for clarity, did you just summarize your agricultural revitalization policy to me?
Yeah, so this is what it says. Agro-shade means somebody will test the ground, somebody will start ensure what he has tasted and say it can work. And then somebody will give you a seed that will give you that have tested to plant. And somebody will provide now to go and prepare that land for you to come and plant. Somebody will give you loan to be able to do those planting and weed it and prepare it at time of harvest. Somebody will harvest it. Then somebody will be outside to buy it. And then value-added company will not be able to use it to produce. It becomes a value-added chain, a complete agro chain that cannot be broken. And it will bring a lot of people into cluster of that chain because you know that if you plant 1 hectare, you are getting a certain amount of money. So you decide what to do. Our government will now be able now to run it and will provide what we need for it to work. And then other people. I've even talked to 1 or 2 companies that said they can come and become a seed company. If you Google it, it's in Zambia. There are many seed company. Their own is to do research on seed and prepare seed to sell. That's their business. That seed company, we're going to bring them to Anambra, maybe 3 or 4. They have a variety. And then I was talking to agri-fund company, Mohammed, Abu Mohammed. I was telling him about it in a recent time, and he said they're going to take a trip to go and study it there. So what am I saying is that it becomes agro chain, and the farmer is no more a mere farmer, local farmer. He's into agro business. He's a cleanup. He can come go to farm with a suit. He can have a 1 room in his farm. He can be able now to go to farm and then be proud that he's into agro business. This goes also to animal husbandry. We'll give you species. If his cow also met a company,
Kindly hold on,
that will bring in.
Kindly hold on, sir. So how do you intend to achieve all of this when there are increasing reports of violence between farmers and herders or land speculators in Anambra State? How do you intend to protect smallholder farmers from losing their lands to political elites or developers?
Okay, there are 3 major issues on the land issue in Anambra State. One is boundary adjustment. Government have been doing lip service to it. And the communities were so elated and so with so much joy when I said, I'm going to set up a committee headed by my deputy governor, by God's grace, if God gives makes support for to win the election. And then we'll set the boundary. Communities that they could not agree in that boundary adjustment that have in contention, government will acquire the one in contention, it become government property so that they will live in peace. Once that is settled, it brings down those frictions that actually follows it. And then land grabbers, when then there's a proper titling and proper recognition of the owners of the land, it reduces land grab because you can't grab a land that is not their own because law will catch up with you. So when they create those problems, they're using after grabbing land, we're going to stop it. And then after that one, we'll now provide foreign guards, youth and people in Anambra State or anybody living there. We'll train them, not untrained people. We'll train them and have the history of them documented. They'll be able to be known and their track record, their history is known. And then we'll train them. And when we train them, we'll send them as foreign guards to those farm areas that you can live in the farm and sleep with your two eyes closed. There will be the guards over all the farm settlements. They will be guiding them.
Ukachukwu,
they will be safe there. And they make sure.
Allegedly, there are politicians who are also land grabbers. How do you intend to deal with those ones?
When there's a will, government wills, land grabbing is something everybody knows that it cannot work when there's a will. You can't take what does not belong to you and then pretend that it belongs to you. It can't work. If there's a will and government actually gives proper documentation of what is available, nobody can cross the line on what it is. It's when there's no will and then government patronages, those who feel that their government talks now begin to do things because government feel they owe them. That's why we are not monetizing Anambra State for anybody. We're telling people this is who we are and this is what we're coming to do. And judge from where you know us from and what we have done in the state. If I tell you I have built the whole world, you may not understand, you may not believe because you did not see. If I say to you, I have built factories in Anambra State, you don't need to be said because you know what it is, you can go there. If you tell you we have investment in Anambra State, you don't need to be told. As a family, I don't think, I've seen maybe among the first 10, 20 families that have highest investment in Anambra State, you can count our family as one of them. That's what they can go judge for. In our community, all the roads there that leads to all the villages in our community, we are third. Community effort. They can see it that is there. I won't talk about the things, how many people have gone through scholarship through us, and then whatever it is. Even in European Union of Nigeria, the school fee is over 2.something million naira by a particular course. But I know how many people that are going to school there from poor families that cannot afford it, so that the poor can meet with the rich and then have kind of networking. At the end of the day, that stigma or this complex of being a poor does not matter. It's about where you are will not make you to be in a disadvantage. I grew from that point of being from poor family to wherever God has brought me now. So I wanted to build that dichotomy, brings them closer together to know they are the same. Irrespective of what disadvantages you have growing up, you can make it up later. So these are the things we're talking about. So it will stamp out land grabbing and then project things in a way and manner that it will be legally and right. And then our people are people that they are very hardworking. The entrepreneurial in nature, they want something to be done. It's not deception whereby you say, I will train one skill for 2 days, whatever, and the little Anambra State calling you names that all you have told us are lies. No, that's not what I'm coming to say. No, it's not what I'm saying. We're talking from the point that whatever we say is what we'll do. So we want to train you and tell you what to do and how to do it. There's no better person in Anambra that can tell people this how to be able to make money and come out of poverty to having something to do better than me. Because I have passed through that journey to where I am. It's not people who has been doing one to the other and then got political appointment, all of a sudden, boom. People doesn't ask questions. Is it their allowance? Is it their salary? Is it the overhead? How did they got to that point? They will not ask questions. But nobody can ask me that question because they know where I'm coming from and then where I am and where I'm going. So I'm coming to Anambra to bring that to bear. And that's why people are supporting me. Let me also say to you, someone, foreign observer that came in, met me today. And they told me, we went to the market, I think they're from either South Africa or where. They're not Nigerians. He said, we did some trial sample in Onitsha, a market in Oka, and then another place they call in also in Onitsha, and then somewhere in Newi. They say, all the market people say they're voting for you. And we're asking questions to come and know who you are. I said, this is who I am. And when they came, they saw my villages, the title holders are there with me. So they will say, oh, no wonder. So people are, right. Even those who are saying they will vote for me, I don't even know them. But because they've known that if I say I will do something, I will do it.
All right, then.
I'm not coming to deceive them.
Let's look at other sectors.
I make Anambra
because of time.
The world.
Let's look at the education and health sectors. These are sectors that are still struggling, especially in many rural communities. What is your plan to revitalize public schools and health centers?
You see, that's one of my heartbeats. Because you see just a room and parlor, they will write a specialist hospital and maternity. That's a glorified mortuary. You see our primary health centers turn into weed and farmland because people lack vision on what to do. It's not a rocket science, and I'll talk about it in less than 1 minute. You see, all I need to do is set up a proper general hospital in all the local government and build a special hospital in the 3 zones of the state. I did it actually as a project in Niger State. I did 3 general hospitals in the 3 central zone. But that's as a project. Now, I will do 3 special hospitals in the zone and general hospital in all the local government. When I'm done and finished and equip it and make it that this are standard general hospital, other things you can treat are there. The one that cannot do, they go to special hospital as a referral. I will make sure that the health centers and the communities are working. At least they can be able now to test malaria, laboratory takes some few things, check your eyes. They'll be able also to be able to attend to a pregnant woman in those areas. They can be able also to check high blood pressure, sugar level at those areas, because these are the killer diseases. Our villagers are not actually doesn't know what it is, and they were thinking that somebody are poisoning them without knowing. They can check those small things in private health center. But look at what I'm going to do, okay? When I finish the general hospital and special hospital, I will now be able now to give it out to group of medical doctors. You cannot take it as general surgeon. No, a surgeon, pediatrist, gynecologist, all the general medical practitioners, optometrists, ENT, all those people will now form a consortium, form SPV, bid for it. I'll give it to you. You're not paying government, but you post a bond that you return the hospital better than what I gave it to you. And then whatever you generate from that hospital, it will be competitive because other hospitals around are close by. If you are charging 10,000 for operation and next local government is charging less, people will go there. Whatever you generate, keep 60, 70%. 30% will use it to pay back forever costs of renovating hospital.
All right, then.
But your corporate responsibility is that every primary health center under that local government will be under your care. You take care of them. You'll be sending doctors there 2-3 times in a month, a week. If they have any special case, you take ambulance from your general hospital and go and pick that person. And they will be rendering those services free to the communities, because I gave you a hospital to go and make money by yourself. The hospital did not build, you did not equip. I have not equipped it. Even some of the government workers that are there, I'll be paying their salary because that's what government is for. But you go and take care of those private health centers, and we'll be doing unscheduled visits, scheduled and unscheduled visits to those private health centers, make sure it works. It becomes their responsibility to take care of those places.
All right.
And it will work. It will be fine.
So, all right, then.
And in Anambra State, Jumoke, our major city, Anambra State, has no water. It doesn't. We need to fix it. And we have stream all around. It's not rocket size. I have been one of major water construction company. So I know what it takes to fix it at a less smaller amount of money.
All right, so still talking about fixing.
Come back to track.
Right.
Sorry, let me just say this. Sorry, let me say this. Our education system has gone from being among the first 5 to 33 index in Nigeria. 33. Where was government when they start falling to that point? At the last administration, we were among the first 5. Now we are 33. There was emergency decline in our education system. Things have to change.
Right. Because just to corroborate, right, because data from UBEX shows that school enrollment and teacher pupil ratios in rural Anambra communities are below national averages. I'm wondering, how will your education policy address these disparities?
You see, I've spoken with some the mission outposts like the major Roman Catholic, Anglican, Pentecostal. You know, it was actually my program. We had a debate about my education when I ran governorship before. And then the then governor started implementing it. But you can't implement a policy more than the person that has it, because I'm the one that the vision. I know things that need to be done. Some of these mission schools, okay, they are poor. It's within the farm settlers. They are poor. They are struggling and using cow to bring out their finished product. Now, these mission schools were there. They gave it back to mission school to be running because they are more, they have more empathy to people. But government were paying and providing teachers and paying and giving them all the things to run it. But these governments, as they came to power, they abolished it. And mission people said, we cannot anymore be able to afford to do it. We have to go back and take in of those schools and fund it back again and provide those things that have been lacking there so that they will mention with anybody in the city or in the village or in those rural areas. That's what we're going to do. The mission schools have been abandoned. They are not doing anything. And you are somebody who has grown from the point where you want to be a professor. Us, you are accusing that did not go to school, has built a university in Nigeria and lifted so many people from illiteracy. And then you, that is a professor, he is abandoning those who are actually in illiteracy. It doesn't go well. It's not actually about how well you can speak good English. It's about the value it's bringing to people.
So you did not go to school, Mr. Ukachukwu?
Well, that's what they said. But I think I'm speaking English now. It's not my language.
Did you go to school?
Of course I did.
Okay. All right.
Of course, I cannot contest the election if I don't have qualifications to contest the election. So right. I make that a reference point. You know, but what I'm trying to say is that it's about having empathy for your people, having a plan and a vision for your people, knowing what you should do. Let me say to you, none of these people that run the election with me can boast and say, I have one small shop somewhere. I've done so business in Nigeria. And people can verify and see that that business is still there now.
No, some of them have been
so
here
you
to
just can't
say
be a briefcase and come.
They have businesses in Lagos, in Port Harcourt, and in Anambra State. But finally, Mr. Ukachukwu, we're out of time. What is your message to Anambra voters as the 2025 elections, draw closer? And also, what's the biggest misconception people have about you? Quickly.
My message is that shun vote buying. Report anybody sharing money, buying vote for vote buying. They should shun vote buying. You have been on national TV where the governor is saying, I'm going to pay money for you to win an election. And I have seen it other nations will try to criticize and discuss it.
Was that what he said? Can you hold on, sir? So we're clear and we don't, further confuse your people. Was that what he said? He says, what I heard him say was collect the money and vote for Abga.
No, he said if you win any award that wins, I'll pay you 5 million, 10 million. That means you are promoting monetary politics. And then the thing is that I said openly, the law enforcement will be on ground. I told my supporters, anybody that is sharing money to buy vote, hold him, call the police or EFCC, hand them over to EFCC or police because it is illegal, it's wrong. Let us go to the electorate, present ourselves who we are, and ask them for vote. If governor, let me say this to you, in a final note. The only thing the current governor is saying that, I am aligning with the party in the center, we are progressive, working together, that's only can tell the people for vote, is so shameful. And then talking about why do you have to offer money to your people you have been a governor of 3 years and 6 months or more, and you have to induce people to come out to work for you. If you have empowered them, you don't have to induce them. They will come out and work, but they are not empowered. So you have to offer them money because they are poor. And they now hold on the money and kill themselves. No.
Just like I've said to others, the question isn't just about who will win, but who has the vision, the courage and the capacity to deliver lasting solutions. I mean, we'll continue to keep Nigerians informed, asking the tough questions and holding every side accountable. Thank you so much for speaking with us tonight. Nicholas Ukachukwu, APC governorship candidate, Anambra State. Thank you so much for your time. Good night.
Thank you, Jimoke. I'm happy to be here.
Thank you very much for watching, everyone. That marks the end of today's episode of Politics Tonight. But before we go, let's tell you that the views and reactions of our resource persons are theirs and have no connection with TVC News. Meanwhile, you can watch the repeat broadcast of this episode at 12:30 a.m. Get in touch with us on our social media handles, Facebook, Instagram, and X at TVC News NG and at Olajumoke using the hashtag Politics Tonight. We're also on YouTube at youtube.com/TVC News NG. I'm Olajumoke Olatunji. Good night, everyone. I'll see you again tomorrow.